So today I want to talk about the precursor to death. You know, is it heaven? Do we go to heaven once we die? Do we go to heaven after we see the pearly gates? And what happens in heaven? You see what I mean? Like, what happens there? When you get old and you've made it to see 90 years old, 100 years old without repercussions of karma, you've gotten through this life. Now you're set to live the afterlife. When you take into consideration that life is the precursor to another life, and all forms of life exist in the carrying over of what you did in the before life, you'll quickly understand that what you see here on earth is just a speck of that. It's just a speck of it. Because at most, when you're on earth, right, you don't get to fly like the birds. You don't get to climb trees like the squirrels. But yet technological advances allow you to do these things when you're able to outsmart certain technologies in a form that you can actually use them. You've actually developed them and you've actually applied them. Now, there's many different forms of life on planet already as is. When we talk about us going to heaven and us dying, you can look at a block of rocks. You can look at that as life. Because in a sense that we can touch it, we can feel it, it exists. It exists. I'm one who thinks that, while life is going to carry over and we're going to become other life forms, I think you have to understand what heaven really means. Heaven basically means that you're coming back as something else. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that you're going to some place where the whole nostalgia is it's blue, it's clouds around, and you have an arrow with a heart on your chest and wings on your back. That's not what heaven is. Sure, that could be heaven, but also you have to realize that heaven is a piece of leaf. Heaven is a rock. It's anything that hasn't been reformed or refined. When you internalize nature and you come back as a beetle, you don't want to meet a person who's walking past you and steps on you. You know what I mean? Because then that is their karma, right? That is their karma. Because in Hindu culture, right, if you kill something, you come back as it. In Hindu culture, it's called karma. And then you also have the discipline that is called dharma, where you have 12 slots of life you have to follow: right thinking, right mind, right speech, all of that. And you see I have on a lot of purple today. So purple is a Hindu color. It symbolizes nobility and also symbolizes happiness. So there are secrets all around us. And I think when you're taken to the highest chambers and you get the knowledge and you actually study it and you use it, I think you'll be an anomaly just walking here on earth among other human beings, and that's just a fact. So Great peace, Yakoki.